Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pharma Talks. Our show today will be unpacking the real stories behind the leadership, behind the innovation, and of course, the future of pharma and healthcare. And here I am, your usual host, Nataliya Andreychyk, the CEO of V7. And today I'm thrilled to sit down with someone who has been reshaping the way we think about communication in life sciences for many years. And now about the role of women in AI. Please welcome Katrine Bach to our studio. From leading Anthill agency to global recognition to now launching a Connected Women in AI, Katrine has built a career on vision, inclusion, and turning the bold ideas into action. And today we shall talk about the unique impact of women bringing to healthcare leadership and what is their role in shaping AI and is it matters and how influential we are in AI. Catherine, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the journey.
Thank you so much, Natalia, and thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. Um, you gave a pretty good introduction. My career has been within healthcare and pharma. I've spent decades working on innovation, digital transformation, and leadership within that industry. Um, and I think along the way, it's been very clear to me how critical it is to combine technical solutions with human insight and collaboration and trust. And especially when it comes to healthcare, where the stakes are really on patient outcomes and matters that are important to all of us. So I think I spent all that time doing that. But lately, as you also mentioned, my focus have shifted a little bit to the world of artificial intelligence and the unique opportunity that AI is presenting to all of us for our lives, but maybe especially for healthcare. This is where I've got a whole lot of experience. But I think what is exciting me in this and what has really captured my attention over the last couple of years is that this is really a historic moment where women can to a much larger extent that we've done before, define the trajectory of innovation. So I think we've seen one technological revolution after the other pass by and women not being represented. So this is what excites me at the moment, and I'm looking forward to having a conversation around that and sharing some of those insights that I've gained along the way.
This is so important, and you have mentioned it. Women are presented at every turn of the digital evolution, and here is the momentum where we will be talking about our role, women's role in artificial intelligence evolution. And Katrine, you have and you led and you are a very complex career in very highly regulated industry, and you have been building trust of your customers and the industry in total for the years. In your view, what is exactly women leadership can bring in healthcare, in pharma? Maybe some moments of your professional life, something you can share with us.
Yeah. Um. So I think that as for any industry, because healthcare is not special in this, but any industry today needs to embrace AI. That's one thing, and I believe that women has a strong role to play here. Generally, female leadership has unique value, I think, but maybe that's a very broad conversation. So if we stay within the field of AI here, and where women are largely underrepresented in both jobs and usage, I think that. Um, maybe especially for healthcare, it's important that we have the women participating. Um, we have, in my opinion, again, I mean, when women bring some qualities that or are very strong in qualities, because I'm not saying that men do not have these qualities, but I think women have the opportunity to um, basically bring some qualities that make or break successful adaptation of new technologies. Um, we are seeing now, after we've had Gen AI for a couple of years, and we see a lot of companies struggling going beyond the pilot projects and into the daily practices. And we're seeing that the real challenges are not actually the technology. It's about the organizational anchoring, it's about responsibility, ethics, it's about user involvement, communication. And all these areas are areas where women are actually really strong. And I believe that they have a unique opportunity to really make a success of this new technology. And um, yeah, maybe even more so in healthcare. I'll expand a little bit about that, but I just wanted to make that point about the anchoring. It's really about how is it that you bring people along? How is it that we build trust? How do we make AI part of real workflows? And we can say, I mean, this is true about many projects. When we are talking about AI in healthcare, I think it's particularly important that we succeed, right? Yeah, I think it's I think diversity. I usually say that diversity is a catalyst for value add. It's a catalyst for a competitive edge, and without that diversity, I'm not sure it really we're gonna have the success that we can have from artificial intelligence and in healthcare. And um, you're asking me to highlight some women. Was that,
Yeah.
yeah, if I remember correctly? I mean,
Yes, yes. From your personal, professional career, maybe some episodes, some women, so whom you want to highlight, so to give us just an example, and also answering the question, why do you believe that women must be in the center of artificial intelligence
yeah,
innovation? Because this is very important. As you rightly mentioned, that that's it's not only female leadership which is important. We are all important. Men are important and women are important, but now we are talking particularly about female leadership and the role in
yeah,
artificial intelligence evolution, and we need to really to get to the point. So why? And I do support you greatly. From my perspective, women with the thinking broadly across multiple tasks, across multiple adoption layers of any program. And it's not only in pharma and life sciences we are engaged with. We are bringing the additional value to every process we are being a part of, because it was like a joke recently. I have read some article and there was a question, are you a good cook? And there was an example, like my mother could cook like 15 dishes at one time and get all of them, on the table, hot and nice. So, and this is a good, like not very good, but this is the analogy. So why to have this diversity and why to have women in the center, in the heart, in the leadership of this innovation is very important, because this is the specific angle of giving multiple tracks and overloaded adoption, like from my perspective. But your story, please. That's
yeah.
very interesting. What is your
Okay.
story behind that?
Let me let me start. I'm a little um opposed to naming or to singling anyone out, but I will. The reason is that I hear so much that oh, we can't find any women to speak at our conference, and I have no, there are no women in technology, there's no experts, and I hear this so much, and I regret it because there are so many talents out there, and that is also part of my mission, is to make sure that those profiles are being seen. And here comes back to, so should I single someone out? Because sounds like there's not a lot when we do have so many. But if I should mention one name, I will pick a person that has been both a customer and a friend and a well-known figure within healthcare, and um, also a customer and friend of yours, Natalia, I think. So Alejandra Betancourt from Novo Nordisk has really embraced technology at its core and innovating how Novo Nordisk is working and using technology to improve. And if I should point to one example, I think Alejandra has been a role model in showing how female leadership can sit in such a technology-centered position and really excel at it. So this would be, and there are many more, but then I'm going to spend all my time talking about all the amazing women. And actually, I want to say as well that one of the initiatives that we are doing in my association now, Connected Women in AI, that we'll talk more about, is actually collecting a catalog of female experts. And again, just to show everybody, all conference organizers, that the women are out there. But if I come back to, because you were talking about why is diversity an issue and why is it important, and um, I think that, the risk of excluding women, or actually women not including themselves, because again, this is not a blame game for men. I think that the risk is very concrete. So when we're talking about healthcare, we're not only talking about efficiencies, it's really shaping those decisions that directly affect people's lives. And if women are not represented in developing, governing these systems, then we risk these bias, the blind spots that, then millions of people will depend on, and half the population that are female. And we've just seen this so many times that when women are underrepresented, so we have plenty of examples from healthcare where, that diagnostic algorithms that are being trained mainly on male data will then underdetect heart disease in women. And it's something that we've seen through history again and again and again. The flaws that are not a technology flaw, but it's a diversity flaw, right? It's about women not being there in the conception and innovation. So I think that's maybe one of the main reasons. I mean, we're talking about AI, and it's a technology that's really going to catapult our entire world today, right? But when we're talking about healthcare, it's something that's so close to all of us. And I think this is where it's particularly important to make sure that we develop AIs that are inclusive, that are you know taking all viewpoints into action. And I'm talking about women as the biggest minority, but I really mean diversity as true diversity, because there's a lot of pointers to diversity. It is my opinion then, if we manage to include the women, then we typically do better on a whole lot of the other diversity markers as well. So yeah, I think it's really a bias thing, that where we really need women involved. I think that's the essence of where I'm coming from.
This is very true because you have you have mentioned a couple of fields from the clinical studies to the technology, and yet even today in the both fields we are outnumbered, so we are not presented at the full capacity. And this is not only the risk of women, this is the risk the entire human population, that women so outnumbered in the representation of these evolutionary technologies as AI. So I would I can see passion in your eyes, and you are a big driver. And you have mentioned one of the biggest leaders, Alejandra Benkov. I am a big fan of her. Like, I'm privileged to work with and being in a very warm relationships. Very, very, very great example of the female leadership. However, this passion um, is really aimed to burn the many hearts of women and to make sure they are going into education, they are going in taking leadership roles, they are not really scared, they are not really, and we are not really scared, we are not really scared to take the driver's seat and to go and to support the technology and to support the innovation. But let us talk a little bit about your path after your great role as CEO of Anthill. So you have you have just such tremendously changed the career into building connected women in AI. So what is driving you? What is
Mm.
your passion?
Yeah.
So personally, so what do you see in that?
Yes. Um, I think that when I stepped out of my CEO role, I had already been bitten by this AI bug. You know, I sometimes talk about the AI epiphany. I mean, when was it that you realized that this is a really transformative technology? This is going to change everything, and that happened actually. While I was still at Anthill, and we launched our first AI product. But as I stepped out of that role, I kept coming back to just how fast AI is moving, and the fact that we have this honestly historic opportunity to get equality right at the start of the technological um, revolution, or even renaissance that we are looking at now, right? That never happened before. So Connected Women in AI was basically created to act on that urgency, to make sure that women, they don't just participate, and even that is a challenge, right? But to lead it and to shape it and to benefit equally from that. So it was a wish or an urge to create a community that gives women the visibility, the practical pathways into AI, access to skills, to network, to partnerships, and organizations that believe in inclusive innovation. So that was really the start of it, or the essence of it, and it still is. We're We've been overwhelmed actually by the response so far. So we've been going for 10 months, and we now count almost 5,000 women into this community, and that's focusing as on the outset mainly on where we are now in Denmark, and it's a small country, right? So it just showed us that the 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 need for this is immense. The need for community building, access to mentors, peers, real conversations. This is super important. The need for capability building, you were mentioning that, Natalia, as well. But learning, the connections, the resources to build skills and confidence in this area. And then the need to create some change, because there are things that need to change, and cultural system changes, and all of that is basically what I'm passionate about now. I think the opportunity is amazing, and it's historic, and I think that there is, um, with the response, also a willingness and a readiness from women to really step into this space. Yeah.
You see, you are already inspired me. So this is such a great thing. So, and you see the numbers, if you say only Denmark, and there are more than 5,000 women already on the platform. I am joining myself because I want also to have this inspiration behind me, inspiring me to move forward and to learn more and to get this great transformational power for my organization as well. This is amazing what you are doing. And I also know that all of us like doing everything in purpose. Even this podcast today, this is purposed with bringing people together, bringing more light on what we are doing for the industry together. So whether we are we on the vendor side, we are on the consumer side, on the customer side. So we are bringing value and we're sharing that. What is your I would say advice, call to action, what we need to do, what we need, where we need, wake up tomorrow and do what? So to make sure we are moving forward.
Yeah. So I think there's, the main message I'd like to leave is, and it's actually both for men and for women alike, but of course this might be more actively directed at women, but it's not to wait for permission to step into AI or into leadership for that matter. The future is being written right now, and the female perspective is needed. And I think that goes whether you're a student, a healthcare professional already in leadership, um, or if you're a man. There is an impact to be made by engaging, learning, connecting, making sure that women engage in this space, and we haven't done that historically. But I think it's important to think about AI today as not only a technology. This is back to where we started, right? That it's about making sure that the humans are getting brought in and along with this. So this is not about having only the technology education or the skills. It's also about having all those skills that ensure adoption and anchoring. So I think this is the main message that I have. Don't wait. And we see that with AI. Women are much more reluctant to step into a space where they're not sure about the structure, the permissions. Is this something that we do? And men are way better at just jumping into it. So it's about the action, and then it's about seeking the communities and the association that will provide those opportunities and communities that we've seen women really thrive in. So it's making a big difference for the women in our network to come together. It's making a big difference that we are creating learning groups that are female only. And that's not because men are not allowed to be there, but just there's something happening for a lot of women that are stepping into this space where, they feel maybe more confident or happy being with other women. So it's about that exchange and making sure that you are exposed to the role models that are leading this way. So my advice is to find the community, find the upskilling opportunities that are shaped for you. Of course, Connected Women in AI is one of those communities, and for the time being, the community is centered around our website and LinkedIn page. But in this autumn, we're actually launching as an online membership platform. And that is because we've seen the demand, and also the demand from an international point of view. So now we can become truly global and support each other across borders, and with a whole lot of activities designed to support women.
Exactly. And this is just a great, great example how you can share the inspiration for all women around so that we are really not waiting. we do not need a permission. That's a beautiful word, a beautiful word. So we do not need a permission. We need our confidence, we need our power, and we need our intelligence, and the industries, different industries, not only pharma and life sciences, will welcome us as experts, as professionals, and we can achieve that together, working together, helping each other, sharing knowledge, sharing the success stories and the failures as well, because there is no successes without the failures. We all know that. So it has been a great conversation. And with us was my beautiful guest, Katrine Bach, who just inspired me for the rest of the day and the week. And I will be really following all the advices. And all of you who was listening us and still hesitating to make your first steps on the big artificial intelligence transformation, please join us. There is a community for you, connected women in AI, and you will be inspired, you will be supported, and you will reach your goals. So thank you so much for listening to us, and see you in the next episode. Thank you, Katrine.
Thank you so much for having me, Nataliya. Thank you.